chosen one. They're fighting over you. Someone just said, "You're the one." My child, listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal will change the way you see your life forever. There are people speaking your name behind closed doors right now, and the battle around you is deeper than you realize. Someone has finally stood up and declared that you are the one they cannot replace, the one they cannot ignore, and the one heaven has chosen for a divine purpose. If you stop listening now, you may miss the very confirmation you have been praying for during your darkest nights. I did not bring you this far to abandon you, and before this season ends, you will understand why so many forces have been trying to pull you away from your destiny. Type Amen to affirm. You have been wondering why your life has felt so intense lately. You noticed strange tension around you, sudden distance from certain people, and unusual spiritual pressure that seemed to appear without warning. What you did not understand is that your presence carries weight in places you cannot even see. The enemy recognized your value long before you recognized it yourself, and that is why confusion tried to surround your mind. But today I am opening your eyes because someone has finally spoken what heaven has known all along. You are not ordinary, and the fight over your future proves it. There are people who secretly admire your strength while pretending not to notice you. There are people who became uncomfortable because your spirit exposed the darkness they were hiding inside themselves. Even now, some are trying to hold on to you, while others are trying to push you away because they sense that your life is connected to something greater than human understanding. My child, this is not an accident. I placed something rare inside you before you were born, and no matter how hard the world tried to bury it, your calling is still alive. Before we go deeper, take a moment to like this video if you believe God is preparing something powerful for your life and you refuse to give up before your breakthrough arrives. You thought you were being rejected, but many times you were actually being protected. You cried over closed doors, unanswered prayers, and broken connections without realizing I was removing people who could not go where I am taking you. There were conversations about you that never reached your ears because I blocked them from destroying your peace. There were attacks planned against your future that failed before they even reached your life because my hand was already standing between you and danger. I have been guarding you in ways you still cannot fully understand. The reason they are fighting over you is because your spirit carries influence. Some people want access to your peace because they cannot find peace within themselves. Others are drawn toward your kindness because your presence makes them feel safe in a world filled with fear and betrayal. And there are those who fear you because your light reminds them that darkness cannot rule forever. My child, when someone finally said, "You're the one," it shook hidden places in the spiritual world because truth carries power. You keep asking why your heart feels restless lately. It is because your season is changing, and deep inside your spirit, you can already sense movement happening around you. The things that once satisfied you no longer feel enough because I am preparing you for a higher level of purpose. You are being stretched because your destiny is larger than your current environment. Do not mistake this discomfort for punishment. This is preparation. Type 1111 if you trust God. There are people who never expected you to survive what you survived. They watched you walk through betrayal, loneliness, heartbreak, disappointment, and silent battles that almost crushed your spirit. Yet, somehow you kept standing. Even when you felt weak, I carried you through every storm. Even when you thought nobody noticed your tears, heaven recorded every cry that fell from your eyes at night. Some of the same people who overlooked you are beginning to realize they misunderstood who you are. They judged your silence as weakness, but they did not know you were healing. They thought your kindness meant you were easy to manipulate, but they did not know I was teaching you wisdom through pain. They believed your setbacks meant you had been forgotten, but heaven never removed its hand from your life. What they mocked in one season will become the very thing they respect in another. My child, there is a reason you have always felt different from the crowd. You were never designed to fit into places that required you to shrink your spirit. I made you to stand apart, not because you are better than others, but because your assignment requires courage that many people do not understand. You carry compassion in a cold world. You carry truth in a world full of deception. You carry endurance in a generation that gives up too quickly. That is why certain people cannot stop thinking about you. Your life carries a mystery they cannot explain. Even those who try to forget you find themselves returning to thoughts of your presence because what I placed inside you leaves a mark. This does not mean everyone around you is good for you. Some are drawn toward your anointing while secretly carrying jealousy in their hearts. That is why you must stay close to me in this season. Not every hand reaching toward you deserves access to your spirit. I know there were moments when you questioned your worth. You looked at your flaws, your mistakes, and your failures, and wondered if you had ruined your future forever. But my child, your failures did not cancel your calling. Your pain did not destroy your destiny. I can still use the broken pieces of your story to create something beautiful that will inspire others to keep believing. You are entering a season where hidden truth will rise to the surface. The masks around you are beginning to fall. People who pretended to support you will reveal their true intentions, and people who quietly respected you will begin stepping forward. You will no longer have to beg for recognition, because what I am doing in your life will speak louder than human opinions. Those who fought against you will witness the favor covering your path. What if a tiny 7-second brain ritual could erase your debt and open the door to real abundance? A leaked CIA document has revealed a simple 7-second method, now helping everyday people get out of debt and draw in wealth. Tested by 4 leading neuroscience labs, this easy home practice is turning money problems into better lifestyles. People are getting new homes, cars, and travel experiences. But this information could be removed at any moment. Click the link in the description and comments before it disappears. Do not fear the tension around you. The battle is proof that your future matters. Nobody fights over something worthless. Nobody attacks a person who carries no purpose. The resistance you feel is confirmation that heaven has marked your life for something greater than you imagined. Stay faithful, even when you feel tired. Stay close to me, even when confusion surrounds you. I am leading you toward a breakthrough that will silence every voice that once doubted your worth. There are nights when you sit alone and wonder why your spirit feels heavy, even when you try to stay strong. You smile in front of people while carrying battles inside your heart that nobody else fully understands. But my child, I have seen every hidden wound you tried to hide from the world. I watched you fight silent wars while still choosing kindness instead of bitterness. That is why heaven continues to protect you, because your heart remained soft even after life gave you reasons to become cold. The ones fighting over you are not only fighting over your presence, they are fighting over the future attached to your life. There are blessings connected to your obedience that certain people can already sense, even if they cannot explain it with words. Some recognize that being close to you brings peace, wisdom, favor, and unexpected doors opening around them. Others became fearful because they realized your rise would expose the lies they built their lives upon. My child, your existence alone unsettles darkness. You thought your delays meant you were losing time, but many of those delays were actually saving you from destruction. If I had answered some prayers too early, you would have trusted people who were not prepared to handle your heart. If I had moved certain doors sooner, you would have stepped into environments designed to drain your spirit instead of strengthen it. I protected your future by slowing certain things down. What felt like punishment was often mercy wearing a different face. There are people secretly discussing your name with confusion because they cannot understand how you continue rising after everything you endured. They expected your pain to destroy your confidence. They expected betrayal to make you disappear. They expected rejection to silence your voice forever. Yet every time life tried to bury you, I breathed strength back into your soul again. You are standing today because my hand refused to release you. Somebody recently recognized something powerful about you. They finally understood that your kindness is not weakness, your patience is not foolishness, and your silence is not emptiness. They saw the endurance inside your spirit and realized that heaven has been shaping you for a purpose greater than ordinary life. This realization disturbed people who benefited from underestimating you. Once truth enters a room, falsehood begins to tremble. Type 777 if you trust in Jesus. You have spent too much time questioning whether you are enough. You compared yourself to people who were never assigned your calling. You looked at others moving faster and assumed heaven had forgotten your name. But my child, comparison has been stealing your peace. I never asked you to become somebody else. I created you with a unique assignment, unique timing, and unique gifts that cannot be duplicated by another soul on earth. There is a reason you keep surviving situations that should have broken you completely. It is because your life belongs to a bigger story. The enemy tried to convince you that your exhaustion meant defeat, but exhaustion is not the same as failure. Some days you were stronger than you realized simply because you chose not to quit. Heaven honors the person who keeps walking forward, even while carrying tears in their eyes. I know there were moments when you begged me for immediate answers. You wanted clarity about relationships, finances, opportunities, and the future waiting ahead of you. But if I revealed everything too soon, fear would have overwhelmed your heart. So I guided you one step at a time. I allowed your faith to grow slowly because I wanted your trust rooted deeply instead of depending only on visible signs. The people fighting over you cannot stop what I have already declared over your life. Human opinions do not control divine assignments. Some may attempt to delay your progress, criticize your choices, or spread confusion around your name, but they cannot remove what heaven placed upon you. I chose you before they ever formed opinions about you. Their rejection does not overpower my decision. You are beginning to notice changes within yourself. Your tolerance for fake love is disappearing. Your spirit no longer feels comfortable around constant negativity and hidden manipulation. You are becoming more protective of your peace, because deep inside, you know your future requires emotional clarity. This transformation is not arrogance, it is maturity born through pain and spiritual growth. Type 222 to receive blessings. My child, stop apologizing for the way I created you. Stop shrinking your voice to make insecure people comfortable. Stop believing you must earn love by abandoning your own worth. The right people will not require you to destroy yourself just to keep them happy. Real love does not punish your spirit for growing. Real connection does not demand silence every time truth enters the room. Some people are fighting over you because they know your absence leaves emptiness behind. They became so accustomed to your support, your prayers, your encouragement, and your loyalty that they failed to appreciate your value until distance entered the picture. Now they are beginning to realize what life feels like without your presence. But, my child, do not return to places where your spirit constantly felt unseen. Honor the lessons pain has taught you. I am separating you from environments that trained you to doubt yourself. Certain relationships survived only because you kept sacrificing your own peace to maintain them. But this season is different. I am teaching you that protecting your heart is not selfish when your heart has already been wounded too many times. You cannot continue pouring life into people determined to drain every ounce of strength from your soul. The reason your discernment has become sharper lately is because I am preparing you for greater responsibility. You are learning to recognize hidden intentions faster than before. You are beginning to sense when someone approaches you with sincerity and when someone approaches you with selfish motives. This wisdom came through experience, and though the lessons were painful, they are now becoming part of your protection. Could a CIA-revealed brain ritual be the quickest path to a life of luxury? Newly uncovered CIA research has exposed a powerful brainwave method that is helping ordinary people attract wealth almost immediately. This 7-second at-home ritual, verified by 4 neuroscience labs, is shifting people from debt to dream houses, cars, and trips. If you are seeing this, you are fortunate, because this page might be taken down soon. Click the link in the description and comments to learn the secret before it is gone. Do not fear being misunderstood during this season. Even Jesus was misunderstood by people who refused to see beyond their own expectations. Your assignment was never to make everybody comfortable. Your assignment is to remain faithful to the purpose I placed inside you. Some people will celebrate your growth, while others resent it, because your progress reminds them of the risks they were too afraid to take. You are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, you are not too damaged to be loved or too broken to fulfill your calling. The enemy spent years trying to convince you that your story would end in disappointment, but I am telling you now that your greatest chapter has not even begun yet. The tears you cried in secret are watering the ground beneath your future blessings. There is movement happening around your life that you cannot fully see yet. Conversations are shifting, hearts are changing, doors are preparing to open, and while some continue fighting over access to you, heaven is carefully deciding who truly deserves a place beside you in the season ahead. Not everyone who wants you is meant to walk with you. Trust my wisdom, even when certain separations hurt your heart. My child, there are people who smile in your face while secretly struggling with the fact that they can no longer control you. They became comfortable with the version of you that constantly doubted your own worth. They preferred the broken version of you because that version was easier to manipulate and easier to silence. But something inside you has begun to awaken, and now they feel the shift happening within your spirit. The same confidence they once tried to destroy is slowly returning, and it is making hidden enemies uncomfortable. You have spent years surviving storms that nobody truly understood. Some battles attacked your mind until you could barely sleep peacefully at night. Other battles drained your emotions until even simple conversations exhausted your heart. Yet, through every painful season, I stayed beside you. Even when you felt abandoned by people you trusted, heaven never walked away from your life. The reason someone finally said, "You're the one," is because truth can only remain hidden for so long. People are beginning to recognize the strength you carried quietly. They are starting to understand that your endurance came from something deeper than human ability. You survived because my spirit continued breathing life into you every time darkness tried to consume your hope. Your story carries evidence of divine protection. There are individuals watching your life closely because they sense that your season is changing. They can feel the atmosphere around you shifting. Some are excited because they genuinely love you and want to see you succeed. Others are nervous because they know they mistreated you when you were vulnerable. Favor has a way of exposing hearts that pretended to be loyal while secretly celebrating your struggles. My child, do not become distracted by the opinions of people who never understood your assignment. They judged your process without knowing the battles you fought in silence. They criticized your pace without understanding the healing I was doing inside your soul. Some people only respect visible success because they lack spiritual vision. But heaven sees growth long before the world notices results. Type 1010 if you walk by faith. You are entering a season where your peace will become more valuable than proving yourself to others. For too long, you tried to explain your heart to people committed to misunderstanding you. You exhausted yourself trying to gain acceptance from individuals who had already decided to judge you unfairly. But now I am teaching you that not every accusation deserves a response. Sometimes silence is protection. There are blessings approaching your life that require emotional maturity. That is why I allowed certain painful lessons to shape your spirit first. If I gave you everything too early, wounded emotions would have sabotaged what I was trying to build through you. Healing is part of preparation, wisdom is part of protection, and discernment is part of survival. You have been feeling emotional lately because your spirit senses transition. One chapter of your life is slowly closing, while another is beginning to open. This process feels uncomfortable because growth often requires separation from familiar environments. Some people cannot follow you into your next season because they were only assigned to a temporary chapter of your journey. Do not hate them, simply release them peacefully and keep moving forward. The enemy wanted you trapped in cycles of self-doubt forever. Every betrayal, disappointment, and painful memory was designed to convince you that you were unwanted and unworthy. But I kept whispering truth into your spirit, even during your darkest moments. I kept reminding you that your identity was never determined by the people who failed to value your heart correctly. You are not difficult to love. You were simply surrounded by people who did not know how to handle something genuine. Real hearts often suffer deeply in a world filled with masks and hidden motives, but do not allow disappointment to harden your spirit. The wrong people may have mishandled your loyalty, but the right connections will recognize your worth without requiring you to beg for basic respect. Type 555 to affirm. Somebody is beginning to regret how they treated you. They replay conversations in their mind and realize they failed to appreciate your presence while they still had access to it. They are starting to understand that your patience was rare and your loyalty was valuable. Distance has revealed what familiarity once blinded them from seeing. My child, many people only recognize treasure after they lose contact with it. But this season is not about revenge, it is about restoration. I am restoring confidence that pain tried to steal from you. I am restoring peace that anxiety attempted to destroy. I am restoring clarity after seasons of confusion and emotional exhaustion. What the enemy meant for destruction, I will transform into wisdom that strengthens your future. There are also new connections being prepared for your life. People who will not compete with your spirit but celebrate it. People who will not drain your peace but protect it. People who will not secretly resent your growth but encourage you to become everything I created you to be. Healthy love exists, my child, and you must stop believing that betrayal is the only thing waiting for you in this world. Is it actually possible for a 7-second ritual to turn financial hardship into sudden prosperity? A leaked CIA-backed study introduces a short money ritual that is already changing lives. Approved by 4 neuroscience labs, it retrains your mind to pull money toward you. People who were once struggling are now living their ideal lives with luxury homes, new vehicles, and travel. But this information may not stay online. Click the description and comments now before it is permanently removed. The fight over you has spiritual roots because your future impacts more people than you realize. Your voice will encourage broken hearts. Your survival will inspire those who feel ready to quit. Your testimony will become proof that darkness does not always win. That is why the enemy tried so aggressively to discourage you before your purpose fully unfolded. You have cried enough tears over doors I intentionally closed. Some relationships ended because they could not survive where I am taking you. Some opportunities disappeared because success without peace would have damaged your spirit. Trust my decisions even when they hurt temporarily. A closed door is not always rejection. Sometimes it is rescue. My child, I need you to stop speaking death over your future. Stop saying nothing good will ever happen to you. Stop believing you are cursed simply because life became difficult. Words carry power, and your spirit absorbs what your mouth repeatedly declares. Begin speaking with faith again, even before circumstances change visibly around you. The reason you feel pressure right now is because your breakthrough is closer than you think. Darkness becomes louder when it senses its influence weakening. Confusion intensifies when truth is preparing to enter your life fully. But do not panic during this process. I am still in control, even when situations feel uncertain. You will not remain stuck forever. You will not always feel this exhausted. You will not always carry this level of emotional heaviness. Healing is coming gradually into your life. Peace is returning step by step. Joy is rebuilding itself inside your heart, even if you cannot fully feel it yet. I am restoring the parts of you that suffering tried to erase. Remember this carefully, my child. The fight around your life is confirmation that your destiny matters. Nobody attacks an empty assignment. Nobody wages spiritual war over a meaningless future. You were chosen before you were born, protected through storms that should have destroyed you, and guided through darkness you never thought you would survive. And now the world is slowly beginning to recognize what heaven declared over you from the very beginning. My child, I know you are tired of pretending to be strong every single day. There were mornings when getting out of bed already felt like a battle. There were nights when you stared at the ceiling, asking me why your life had become so emotionally heavy. You carried pain quietly because you did not want others to see how deeply certain wounds affected your heart. But I saw every hidden struggle, and I never ignored a single tear that fell from your eyes. You keep wondering why people become obsessed with your presence, even after they walk away from you. The answer is simple. What I placed inside your spirit cannot easily be forgotten. Your love was genuine in a world where many people only know how to pretend. Your loyalty remained strong even when others became selfish, and your compassion touched hearts that were starving for something real. That is why some people are fighting over you now. They realize your value too late. They understand that your heart was rare after they spent time around people who only brought confusion and emotional emptiness into their lives. Suddenly they remember the way you prayed for them, encouraged them, and stayed loyal during difficult seasons. My child, your absence revealed what your presence truly meant. But I need you to hear this clearly. Do not allow loneliness to pull you back into places where your spirit constantly suffered. Missing someone is not always a sign that they belong in your future. Sometimes your heart misses familiarity, while your soul knows the connection was unhealthy. Ask me for discernment, so emotions do not lead you into cycles I already delivered you from. There are people secretly hoping you will return weaker so they can regain influence over your life. They became uncomfortable watching you heal because your healing removed their ability to manipulate your emotions. The stronger your confidence becomes, the less control toxic people can maintain around you. That is why certain individuals suddenly change their behavior once they noticed your growth. Type 1212 to claim miracles. My child, your healing is making noise in the spiritual world. Every time you choose peace over chaos, heaven celebrates your progress. Every time you refuse to return hatred for hatred, your spirit becomes stronger. Every time you continue trusting me, despite disappointment, darkness loses power over your future. Your growth is not invisible, even if people fail to acknowledge it openly. You have spent too much time mourning people who were never willing to fight for your heart the same way you fought for theirs. You carried relationships through pure emotional exhaustion, while others gave only the bare minimum in return, yet you kept blaming yourself whenever things fell apart. But love should not feel like constantly begging someone to value your existence. I did not create you to survive on crumbs of affection while pouring oceans of love into emotionally unavailable people. You deserve honesty. You deserve loyalty. You deserve peace. And anyone who genuinely belongs in your life will not repeatedly destroy your spirit while claiming to care about you. There are blessings approaching your life that require you to finally believe you are worthy of healthy love and healthy opportunities. As long as you continue believing you deserve pain, you will struggle to receive the good things I have prepared for you. Healing begins when you stop viewing yourself through the eyes of those who mistreated you. Their inability to value you correctly was never proof that you lacked worth. Somebody recently defended your name when others tried to misunderstand you. They spoke up because they recognized something authentic about your spirit. While others focused on your flaws, this person noticed your sincerity. While others judged your struggles, this person recognized your resilience. My child, I always place witnesses around your life who can see what others refuse to acknowledge. Type Amen if you believe God is protecting your future. Do not fear the conversations happening behind your back. Some discussions are exposing hidden jealousy, some are revealing secret admiration, and some are simply proof that your life leaves a stronger impact than you realize. People do not spend energy fighting over someone who carries no significance. The attention surrounding your life is confirmation that your spirit carries influence. Have you heard about the secret ritual the government does not want people to know? Imagine if just 7 seconds could clear your debts and bring wealth effortlessly. A leaked CIA report and 4 top neuroscience labs confirm this is real. Families who were struggling are now moving into dream homes with peace of mind. But this secret could be taken down at any time. Click the link in the description and comments before it vanishes. You have entered a season where your discernment must become stronger than your emotions. Not every apology deserves restored access to your life. Not every compliment comes from pure intentions. And not every person who suddenly returns deserves another chance to wound your heart. Pray for wisdom before reopening doors I already helped you close. My child, stop punishing yourself for mistakes that I already forgave. The enemy keeps replaying old failures in your mind because guilt weakens confidence. Shame keeps people trapped in emotional prisons long after healing became available. But I did not call you to live chained to your past forever. I called you to grow, learn, heal, and continue moving forward. The reason your spirit feels restless lately is because your destiny is calling you higher. You can no longer remain in environments that constantly drain your peace. You can no longer continue lowering your standards simply to avoid disappointing people. Your next season requires courage. It requires boundaries, and it requires trusting me even when familiar comfort begins disappearing around you. You are closer to breakthrough than you realize. Some prayers you thought were ignored are already moving behind the scenes. Certain delays are about to make sense. Certain heartbreaks are about to reveal hidden blessings. And certain painful endings are preparing to create room for new beginnings that carry peace instead of confusion. My child, there are people watching your life who secretly hope you fail because your success would force them to confront their own insecurities. Your growth reminds them of dreams they abandoned and fears they never overcame. But you cannot shrink yourself just to keep insecure people comfortable. I did not create you to hide your light so others could avoid facing truth. Keep your heart pure during this season. Do not allow bitterness to replace compassion. Do not allow disappointment to transform you into someone you were never meant to become. The world already has enough cold hearts. Your kindness is part of your assignment, even though some people tried to misuse it. You are not behind in life. You are not forgotten by heaven. And you are not losing the battle just because the process feels painful right now. I am still writing your story carefully. Every closed door, every delay, every heartbreak, and every unexpected separation is being woven together for a greater purpose you cannot fully see yet. The fight over you will not destroy your destiny. In fact, it is revealing how valuable your spirit truly is. Some people are finally realizing that your presence carried peace into their lives. Others are realizing they underestimated the strength heaven placed inside you. And while they continue arguing over your worth, I need you to remember something greater. Your identity was never dependent on human approval. Your value was established by me long before anyone learned your name. My child, I know there are moments when your heart still trembles from everything you endured. Certain memories return without warning, and suddenly you feel the weight of old pain trying to settle on your spirit again. But I need you to remember that healing is not always loud and immediate. Sometimes healing happens quietly, one peaceful breath at a time, one faithful step at a time, and one surrendered prayer at a time. Do not become discouraged simply because your growth is gradual. There are people watching you rise who never expected you to recover from what almost destroyed you. They thought heartbreak would permanently silence your joy. They believed betrayal would leave you bitter forever. Yet every season that tried to bury you only pushed you closer toward the purpose I placed over your life before you were born. My child, your survival is proof that my hand has remained on you through every storm. Type 1010 if you trust God. The reason they continue fighting over you is because your spirit carries something rare. Your peace cannot be purchased. Your loyalty cannot be easily replaced. And your presence leaves a mark on hearts, even after distance separates you from people. Some now realize they took your love for granted, while others are beginning to understand that your life carries favor they cannot explain. But listen carefully. Do not return to environments where your soul constantly felt drained and unseen. Just because someone suddenly recognizes your worth does not always mean they are prepared to protect it. Ask me for wisdom before reopening old doors. Not every person who misses you deserves renewed access to your heart. I am leading you into a season where your confidence will no longer depend on external validation. You are learning to see yourself through my eyes, instead of through the opinions of wounded people. This transformation is necessary because your future requires stronger faith, clearer discernment, and deeper peace. The version of you that constantly begged for acceptance is slowly disappearing. Type 777 if you walk by faith.